Welcome. This is the 116 Life on Holy Culture Radio, Sirius Channel 140. I am one of your hosts, here with the amazing host, Meah Evans. I'm here, Ace Harris.
I really thought you was going to go easy on me that time. Can we talk about how this is every single time, almost every time, Ace and I are twinning? Yo, it never fails.
It's just, God's
it never fails,
plan.
man. God's plan. How you feeling?
I'm feeling really good.
Yeah.
Inspired, awakened, and
Shout out to the
emboldened.
hits Ace has been making, y'all. Y'all been listening to True. You played a part in and pray for me, right?
Yeah, a little something. Anike,
yeah,
she's
man,
a
listen,
star,
killing it.
It's been fun. I think we're in a good season, a good rhythm. Got a lot of releases. And thank y'all for all the fans and all the people that's not either watching or listening. Thank you for all the support. Shout out Holy Culture Radio. Christian hip hop, Christian music's having a renaissance.
No, for real.
Support is crazy. For all the parents out there that's listening, you guys are prayerfully getting an alternative to dope music that you probably didn't have. I know I didn't have this.
Sure.
If I wanted Afro beat back then, if I wanted like R&B, I didn't have these great alternatives. So I'm just excited for the space. Speaking of that, we got an amazing guest that's continued to contribute to the culture. None other than the Atlanta Zone, the legendary from Atlanta, 1K Famo representative. Give it up for 1K Pson, y'all.
Yeah. What it do?
Well, my boy dripped out like the Atlanta. Oh my goodness! if they'd have put you in a group of like other people from different places, like West Coast, New York, or whatever, but yo, pick the Atlanta dude. They'd be like, he's right there.
I get that a lot, man.
It's like you really embody the Atlanta culture and everything so well, man.
I take that as a compliment.
Yeah. So wait, what you said was you agree with Lil Yachty, what he said about New York. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no, what he say?
No, he said that Atlanta influences the culture and fashion and sets the trends, and that New York people don't anymore, which I was like, bruh, not saying I disagree or I agree, but that's a dangerous statement to get into.
Man, I agree with him.
Oh, DJ Michael, you heard that? Andy, you heard that? No,
I agree.
We ain't gonna play the culture wars right now.
Yeah, but talk about this, man. What has life been like for you right now? Well, what's the season of life been treating you? Give us a peek into your world.
Man, life been good. Like God's been good to me. I got no complaints. You know what I'm saying? God been just bringing my family closer together. As far as the music, He's kept me going with that. In a way, I kind of been like on a break but not break.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I'm coming up out of that now. So it's like everything kind of been, just He been teaching me how to have balance. Because at first, I wasn't doing well with balance. If I was doing the music, I was away from the family. If I was, with the family, or working, it was just, but he done gave me balance and He done opened some doors for me. So, life is real good right now.
That's what's up, man. And so, yeah, I feel like speaking of life, man, you definitely, been at it for a while, but you also, you do a lot of different things, man. Like you tour with Phew. You guys went all over the country.
Yeah.
You also like have a construction business and doing like you do a lot of different things, man.
Yeah.
How does it feel like to be someone that provides for their family, being so multifaceted? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like sometimes artists have this picture of what they Christian hip hop career is going to be, and they kind of have like a headstrong view of it. You as a provider for your family, you know what I'm saying, tapped into culture and all that, but you do it from a lot of different places. Talk about having that like diversity in terms of
I feel like God led me and taught me that, because at first I thought like just being able to go to the studio all day, work on music all day was making it, in a sense, like if I was working or doing any other things, like I wasn't really an artist, you know what I'm saying, or I was like part-time.
Sure.
But God, kind of showed me that like this provides for this. Doing
true.
this, you can support, your music. And then, you know what I'm saying, even with, linking up with my brother Phew, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
It's like I made it, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's supporting him outside of my own artistry, I do, but it's like I get the best of both worlds. I get to be my own solo artist. I get to tour with him, you know what I'm saying? Tour by myself, at times. Go home, you know what I'm saying? Work on my business, work with my family. So it's like the best. Like people think it's like bad that like if you go home, to work or do something, but I view it as a good thing, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like nothing's pulling. So when if something happens to where I can't do this no more, I still got this. I got something to fall back on at all times. So that's where I try to, strive to set myself up to, so if the music, I'm always gonna do music in some kind of way.
That's fire,
but I definitely want to get to where like, okay, this can support the music, or if this falls, the music can support that. So you know what I'm saying?
For sure. And talk about like you obviously a family man. Talk about like how many kids you got, how long you been married. I feel that's important for like just uniquely, honestly, bro to bro, being in Atlanta, being a hip hop artist, being a black man, and being a family man. Yeah. What's that feel like, bro?
Man, it feel great. You know what I'm saying? Of course, like, it had its challenges as far as like marriage, being young, getting married, and not kind of knowing, direction. So God had to lead and guide me, you know what I'm saying? And He's still teaching me, how to be a good husband, you know what I'm saying, and a father. Just it's good, you know what I'm saying. At first, it was stressful. It was like I said, it was like a lot going on, but I had to pray about it and just ask God like to lead me, and guide me, and I put it in His hands. And so then I started to see my marriage doing better, you know what I'm saying? My kids, started, opening up about God. Just learning to lead by example.
Right.
Because at first, I was just in my zone, just trying to, thinking I'm doing for them, you know what I'm saying? They'll understand it later. But God He showed me that I had to bring my family into my world, you know what I'm saying?
That's good.
As far as like even my wife, you know what I'm saying? Letting her open the doors for her to be a part. If she want to be a part of it, she can. If she don't, then that's fine. But long as I'm not just closed off from them and just doing my own thing, and they feel like I'm away, or just the distance, just closing that gap, and then we just all doing together. So now they all be, with me at the shows. Like, even my nephew, nieces, they be with me. People think I got
crazy.
A lot of kids.
They think you started low out here.
Yeah. So they be with me at the shows, crazy. You know what I'm saying? And it's just.
So talk about why you being a family man as a representative of Christ and in culture is so important, when I feel like there is not enough representatives of people like that look like you, talk like you, dress like you, that actually are like faithfully in community and married. Like, talk about why that's important for people like you.
I feel like it's important because it's hard. Like I ain't gonna get on here and act like it's just easy, because one, marriage is a challenge. Like you gotta really you gotta understand what love is and what it takes to be married to one, like two people becoming one. That's like really hard. Like, and so it's like you gotta be up for the challenge. And a lot of people, they get kind of like to the point where I'm kind of rocky, so let me not just promote that I'm married, or let me just be cool about the family part, just because it's so rocky right now, and I don't want to have to take that hit. But I feel like it's important to put it out there, and just because even at one point for me, just being transparent, like I felt like things had got a little too rocky, so I was like, well, I don't want to have to announce that I'm, what I'm saying? Just pretty much the devil had in my mind preparing to quit or give up, what I'm saying? But God changed it. So I think it's important to be loud, on the enemy, because
that's hard.
Because the louder you are, the more help you'll have. People hear you, or you won't feel so alone, because people, if they're inspired by what you're doing, they'll say, man, hey, I like what you're doing, man. You married. And then those little things that help me, what I'm saying, along the way, like, yeah, all right, that inspired them, so that made me want to fight a little harder. So you know what I'm saying? So that's just kind of like,
that's fire, bro. Yeah, that's fire.
I know your kids and your wife are so grateful, and like even years down the line, they're gonna be so grateful that you made that change completely. And P, listen, I feel like there are so many things when we were coming up with talking points of what to talk about. I thought I knew what I wanted to talk about with you, but then I learned so many new things about you with when it comes to music and things like that. So I wanted to ask about how you got your start in music, but correct me if I'm wrong, you were in a hip hop group a while ago. Can you talk a little bit about that? Your early stages of being in music, and then even transitioning even to being a part of that group.
Yeah, so pretty much like the beginning, it was just really, I really wasn't. I would write songs, like I've been like in love with music since I was a kid, but I would write songs not knowing what, you know, what I was gonna do, just not even knowing, like, and so pretty much as far as like, you know, growing up, you know, I was raised in church, but, you know, of course, like I strayed off and did my own thing, and that's pretty much, that's a part of my testimony, being a prodigal son. That's what Pson stand for.
Oh, okay.
For those who don't know. So basically, when I strayed off, you know, I was just hanging with, you know, friends and stuff, and they had a rap group called Black Southern Boys, BSB, and so, you know, I would write songs, but I had never thought about rapping, like, because I was in church, like I would write like church songs and stuff, just being with my mama. And so pretty much one day they was in the studio playing the beat, and then they were like, you should try to write something, you know what I'm saying? And I did my little thing, and then and pretty much once I wrote the rap, they was like, oh, that's hard. You need to think about it. So like, think about rapping. So I was like, okay, I thought about it. And so, you know, I kind of clicked up with them, you know what I'm saying, and started doing the secular, you know, music. And so pretty much after that, God just kind of he always, like, I go out there, you know, but he always never let me go too far.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? So pretty much he hit me with the, you know, hey, why don't you do this for me? You know what I'm saying? Why don't you try doing it for me? And pretty much, because I would always wonder, like why do I want to go out here and do this? Why can't I just be content with being a Christian, being young and saved, you know what I'm saying? And so I would think about what I felt like I needed, you know what I'm saying? And then pretty much that would be like just the influence, and God just kind of kicked it to me like, won't you be that? Like, won't you be a part of that? And so that's when I really started kind of doing writing like where I'm at today. It's just kind of leading.
Prodigal son. 1K
yeah.
Prodigal son.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So you and you also, like, you was in the military for a second too. Like, to talk about a little bit about that journey, like making music, and then deciding to go to the army, well, not the army, but to the military. And serve.
So that's kind of like right when everything kicked off. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of just indecisive what I want to do with my life. You know, a little bit over here, a little bit over there. So you know, it got to the point where I was like, at that point, I was like, I know I ain't gonna go to college, but I want to do something with my life.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? So I joined the military, and and it was, you know, it was one of the best things I could say that I did. You know what I'm saying?
What made you say, like, why was it one of the best things?
Because it was like some of the areas as a man, you know, I felt like that I was lacking in. Had I not went into the military, I wouldn't have those tools today. You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of the agendas that come with, you know, outside, you know, I don't got nothing to do with that. But as far as like the training and the things you go through to become like a soldier,
for sure.
Like I feel like every man should at least experience that part.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
did you serve active duty? Were you?
Yeah, I did the guard, and I did active duty. So I was in the guard, then I got activated, and I went overseas to Afghanistan. You know, and
how long were you?
I was over there a year. So yeah,
man, I almost want to get into that next. That seemed like a lot of.
Yeah.
I mean, you was in Afghanistan, boy.
Yes, sir.
That's crazy.
Sir,
yes. So we'll definitely get back into that as we come back. This is the 116 Life, Holy Culture Radio, Sirius Channel 140. Here at 1K Prodigal Son from Atlanta. Meah Evans. I'm your host, Ace Harris. We'll be right back, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back, y'all. This is the 116 Life on Holy Culture Radio, Sirius Channel 140. I'm one of your hosts, Ace Harris, here with
Meah Evans. We got 1K Pson in the building.
Sir,
y'all, we have to talk
sir.
about dang, P, the things that you went through being in Afghanistan. Can you just talk about what that was just like, you know, being over there for a year? Was it what you expected? Was it harder than what you thought? Kind of dive into that a little bit.
I would say it was a lot of different emotions, you know what I'm saying? Of course, the traveling, you know, getting to see the world, getting to, you know, experience certain things like, you know, being in Germany on St. Patrick's Day, you know, stuff like that, you know, it was definitely an experience that, you know, that I value and that, you know, that I, you know, appreciate. The fact that it was wartime, you know, that's the part that was just not so good about it, you know what I'm saying? Being at war, waking up, you know, and people in the mountains, they fighting, like it's just gunfire, bombs going off, like, you know, every day, you know what I'm saying? You so it's going off so much, you get kind of immune to it, you know what I'm saying? That like, you know, this is, but you don't get used to it, but you get immune to it. But,
okay, got you.
You know, just as far as like, you know, being over there, getting to the point like, you know, probably like 6 months out and feeling like, you know, I ain't gonna make it home. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like I would, you know, I really literally got to the point where I was just like, I don't think I'm gonna make it home because, you know, we would get attacked, you know, some people that was, you know, kind of, you know, not as close to me, you know, as my, you know, platoon or whatever, but people that was out there with us, we lost some of them. And so it was kind of like, it just was an experience. Like, I can't say it was bad or good, you know what I'm saying? But some bad things happen, you know what I'm saying? But also good things happen, you know, as far as just experiencing, building brotherhood.
Sure.
You know, just making friends for life like that.
What was going on in your heart? I guess I know what was going on in your head. What was going on in your heart spiritually, like as you on the battlefield, literally, and you out here, you know what I'm saying, dodging bullets and bombs.
Yeah.
What was going on in your heart spiritually about your view of God, your relationship with Him, as you were processing, man, I may not make it home?
Well, see, that's where it just kind of changed, you know what I'm saying? Because at first I was just over there as myself, like, you know, like I said, I was raised in church, so I knew the way, but, you know, that was kind of one of my, you know, things, like, I'm just kind of getting caught up in the mix, you know?
For sure.
And so, basically, once I started feeling, you know, like I said, like I wasn't gonna make it, I had to call on Jesus. Like I had to like just hold on to Him, you know, as far as like to get me through the rest of my time over there, because it's like, you know, you will see people, you know, kind of crashing out, like, you know, because everybody, you know, experiencing the same thing, but you calling home, people got kids. At that time, I ain't had no kids, so I don't know what I would have been like if I had kids. Right. But at the same time, like, you know, they'll be hearing their kids, and then it's bombs going out. So we don't know what's gonna happen the day from the next. You know, they telling us we gonna come home, and then we get, like, our family telling us, oh, they said on the news y'all coming home, and then, you know what I'm saying, we get off the phone and the top, like, nah, don't believe what you hear on TV, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it was just very like an emotional roller coaster, kind of like up and down, you know what I'm saying? And it just wears on you mentally, you know what I'm saying? And once you get back, you know, you gotta let it all, you know, just out, you know what I'm saying? That's why I kind of, you know, I'm a big advocate for mental health as well, because you know what I'm saying, like a lot of folks go over there and they don't come back right, you know what I'm saying? I feel like everybody still have their issues and still have like some form of PTSD, you know what I'm saying, just kind of being in that.
Did you, sorry to cut you off, did you seek some mental health after coming back?
Yeah. I definitely, after a while, but I didn't realize it, you know what I'm saying? I didn't realize I needed kind of like a little help once I got back. I thought I was being, you know, just back. You know, I knew I wasn't the same when I left, but, you know what I'm saying, it kind of took family and, you know, people that just knew me to like, nah, you might need to go, you know, kind of, you know, just talk to somebody about what you know, experienced, and that's what I did.
That's amazing, man. Shout out to you for your courage to seek that out.
Yeah, so you come back from being overseas. What does your spiritual and life and faith walk look like coming back, and even how did music even get woven back into the mix of your life?
And so and pretty much that's what kind of I started working on music while I was over there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
you making beats with a bomb going on, bro.
That's really when he told me, to do this for me. It was over there. You know what I'm saying? I was still like I had did the rap group like maybe that summer, you know what I'm saying? And so I was doing that, but then, my brothers and my sister, they was doing music too. We would always be doing, so God started downloading songs in my head while I was over there, but I would just get like I think I remember like the Travis Porter beat, Make It Rain. So I had flip it, and it would be like, make it rain, Lord, make it rain. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I would do that, and then pretty much that was kind of keeping me busy. When I talked to them, I send I think I had Mixcraft or something like that. I do my little
on the phone
version.
You had studio set up?
No, just it used to come with sound recorder or whatever it was back then.
That boy was making beats in the platoon.
It was crazy.
Yeah. I wish I had a photo of that. Yeah. You got the military the strap over here, and you up there making it rain.
It's some stuff
that imagery is great.
It's some stuff out there like that. But I was sending back to them, and they would do their verses and whatever. And so when I got ready to come back, I think I came on like a 2-week break, and then God just kind of opened the door where we was able to perform at his church. You know what I'm saying? And so we didn't know what we was doing. You know what I'm saying? We went up there, and it just was like they loved it so much. We ended up calling ourselves Heaven Bound, a group. So I started with Heaven Bound, my brothers and my sister. You know what I'm saying? And so that's really what birthed from me being overseas. And then after Heaven Bound, it was just like, of course, they kind of grew up. They didn't want us kind of stay in the music. So God just made me the prodigal son, and then I Pson from there.
Okay,
so that's where it really birthed from.
Dang, that's just a phenomenal revelation for me that in the belly of the beast, you know what I'm saying?
Sheesh,
in a war zone, you know what I'm saying? God gave you the vision to tap into him. And I'm trying to figure out how you can be creative under those circumstances.
Yeah, right.
But it's like you ain't really got no choice. You got to try to find some kind of outlet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and you just when you ain't at work, or because it's kind of like work. You go to work, and then you be off, you know what I'm saying? So when you off, you either kind of like going through the little town, or you gonna come back to your pod and just kind of be. Yeah. So that's pretty much the outlet God gave me.
And when you left, when you was with Heaven Bound, you started to be 1K, Pson. Did you have an idea of what it would be like to have a career as a Christian hip hop artist or gospel rap artist, or was it like you were just going for where the Lord?
Right, I didn't know. Like, I didn't know. I really thought I was the first of my kind. Like, I think we all feel like that because it's like I really thought I was the first of my kind. Like this, with my kind of sound. Like as far as that, and so like I had no idea really about Christian hip hop. Even back then, you know what I'm saying. So I was introduced as I was, doing it, as I got deeper in it, the more I found out, oh, it's a whole world over here. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that.
And did you, like in terms of, as you, was it churches inviting you, or were you like?
Yeah, it was crazy because that one show, and I promise, like we was booked off that one show, like we started being booked like for a good 2 years every weekend without no, like, I don't know what no booking, like we don't know none of that. Like we like in the city, we was booked like, well, in and out of like Alabama, we was traveling, like we was going like Florida, like my mom, we had a momager. So,
right.
Shout out mom.
Yeah.
So she was, they'll call and get in contact with her and book, and we was booked for a good like 2 years for like nonstop, like every weekend. Like,
speaking of momager, like what was your childhood like? growing up? Like, I'm just curious, like, to where that would be something that she would, you know.
Well, I felt like my mama always believed in me with the music because she already seen something. She bought me my first keyboard, you know, to make my little beats on. And so, you know, we had it hard, you know what I'm saying? Her buying my first keyboard was meant a lot because we ain't have money like that. So, you know, so for her to, like, I don't know what she had to do to get it, but you know what I'm saying, she got it. But I know, like, we had a little rough childhood, you know what I'm saying? Her and my dad that raised me, like, they got married young, and you know, life kind of got at them early. So, you know, they had 5 kids they was trying to raise at like 19 and 20, you know, so yeah, we kind of had it hard, but you know, God, you know, but they taught us the word. They taught us, you know,
so good.
You know, how to call on Jesus when we in help, when we need help, you know. So
were you and your siblings close?
Oh yeah. We was close because we was all we had. You know what I'm saying? We really didn't have the luxury of playing sports and like doing a lot of things outside of, you know, just being at home playing together. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So
y'all was a basketball team.
You're right.
That was it. That was it.
What side of town were y'all on?
We was on the east side. East Atlanta.
East Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say, thinking about you being a part of the group prior, and then with Heaven Bound, and then when it came to you, the door opening for you to do your own thing. What was going through your mind? Like, were you confident about it? Were you kind of hesitant about it? Like, just talk through what was going through your mind when you had to kind of step away from Heaven Bound and want to do your own thing.
It was kind of hesitant because it was like I was used to being up there with my brothers and my sister. Like, so I had my part, and then I knew they was coming. But so it took me a while, like, just as a solo artist to just embrace, like, being able to, you know, like, I knew how to work a crowd, but just like with people, you know what I'm saying? So it was like getting out there by myself. It was kind of like, I'm out here by myself. What they thinking? Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it took me a while, you know what I'm saying, until I, you know, just had to kind of embrace it and just say, okay, this is it. This is how this going now.
Yeah. Shout out God for giving that confidence, man.
For sure.
Because I think that, you know, I think it's dope that, you know, people, you know, that you thought you was like one of the few pioneers, but I think at the time, you know, gospel rap, Christian hip hop, probably wasn't what it is then. What it is now.
No, it was nowhere near. And I thank God for that. I would say, like, I do thank God for letting me be part of the, you know, pioneering it, you know, for our sound,
for your sound. I think that's important to note. Because who else would you say had a sound like yours or yours back then? I mean, was it Gideon's Army? Was it
Gideon's Army?
I took it back. Was it one Future Son? Was it who else was Canton Jones? Some people in that area.
It would be like in that, like Canton Jones. Okay. Gideon's Army, but it still wasn't quite as hood. Like, it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that.
Good, bro. That was real good.
But they used to be chopping demons all the time.
Right. Nah, we looked up to them like
they were like big bros. They were kind of before y'all.
Yes.
Was able, like, our group had actually was moving so much that we had ended up being like at an award show, you know, with them, and, you know, got to perform in front of them. And so that was like one of our biggest moments. Like, we was like, wow, like, and then they, you know, afterwards they was showing love. So it was like, that was definitely, you know, Canton Jones, you know, Gideon's Army, but it was just still not quite like, you know. And then until I, you know, and I still, you know, was working, doing my thing, you know. Yeah. And then, you know, I bumped into my brother, Future Kid, you know.
Future Kid.
1K Phew.
1K Famo.
So, when I first heard him, I was like, well, no, I didn't hear him. I seen his name. He just, because he was a workaholic. So he on Facebook posting, boom, boom, back to back.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, who is this? Future kid? Who he think he is? Future? So it was like when I finally checked out his music, I was like, yeah, it's time. Yeah. Like,
we definitely want to get it. We want to get into how you and 1K Phew linked up. I think that's a really important part of your story. We'll be right back, y'all. This is the 116 Life on Holy Culture Radio, Sirius Channel 140. I'm your host, Ace Harris, here with 1K Pson, Meah Evans. We'll be right back, y'all.
Yeah.
And we're back here on the 116 Life, here on Holy Culture Radio, Sirius XM Channel 140. Ace Harris and I, we got 1K Pson in the building, and we all had to talk about, I love when you brought up you talking about how hard Phew went, and like when you first met him and like how hard he was going. I remember seeing Phew, he was at my church and he had this real tall hair and everyone was just like really rocking to him, and he was just going on the stage, you know what I'm saying? But Phew was always a hard worker. Like we were even talking on air about like at every show.
For sure.
When did it click for you to be like, nah, I really want to lock in with him? Like I admire what he's doing, but like I like, when did the friendship really come in between you guys?
So pretty much it was like Heaven Bound. Like in the city, it was like Heaven Bound and Future Kid. Like those two names. Okay. Yeah, I was we gonna either be at every show, or you know what I'm saying, you gonna hear about it. So, you know, we was hearing about, like I said, I was hearing about Future Kid. I'm like, who is this Future Kid? Like, you know what I'm saying? Who he thinking Future son? Like or something like that. And so I kind of Yo, in
the building.
That's crazy. Shout out to Phew in the building.
Off camera.
Hey, that just scared me.
But came out like Candyman, didn't he?
Oh, that's
say his name.
That's crazy timing. That's crazy.
Yeah, shout out my boy 1K Phew. But yeah, man, that's how you would hear, you know what I'm saying? And so when I finally checked out his music, I was like, yeah, this the sound right here. This is it, like, you know what I'm saying? And then just pretty much like we still kept, you know, we was a group and he was doing his solo thing. And so it wasn't until like my group, you know, my brothers and my sister, they kind of like, they was going off to college and they wanted to do other things. And so I was like, man, I guess I'm about to just have to be solo. And so, Phew just kind of like out the blue, it was crazy because he just, you know, hit me up on some like, man, hey man, I want you to be down with 1K, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I was, you know, cause I look, you know, my group wasn't, you know, grouping. And so, like, I was like, cool, you know what I'm saying? And pretty much from there, it's been up, you know what I'm saying? Like, as far as like the Brotherhood, like we really just, more of anything, it's been the Brotherhood.
Yeah.
So, you know, I thank God for, you know, Phew, because like we be there like literally like brothers of accountability. Like we watched each other grow, you know what I'm saying? We've been around each other, you know what I'm saying? We know each other and, you know, we protect each other and look out for each other. And so it's like even outside of the music, it's just like, it's just been a dope journey, you know, with him. So
I love, I'm not even gonna lie to you, as long as I've been doing M&M Live Radio and just in media hosting, anytime Phew would do a show, all of y'all pulled up. And like that, everyone always talks about that, about how, like, you know, Phew always roll 40 deep, but I'm not gonna lie to you, P, I love seeing y'all together. I love the brotherhood, the community you guys have, you know, for so long, you know, and it just, aside from being even on stage, you can just tell that it's real. Can you just talk about how having that brotherhood, that community has impacted you beyond even music, but even just as a family man? Because everyone, like, you know, has their own families and has wives and things like that. How has it impacted you?
Like just like I said, having a brother of accountability is amazing, because it's like those moments when you want to give up or you want to throw in the towel, you got somebody like, he gonna hit you. Man, come on, he gonna you know, joke about it, but still drop some jewels and just be like, bro, you got to keep going. Even with the music, like it was one point I was like, you know, I'm done with it. You know, when, like I said, it started to get, you know, too much trying to balance everything. And he like, nah, man, you got to keep going, you know. So even when I was not really going, he was still dragging me, like, still like, you know, come on, now you gonna keep going, and pretty much just having somebody like that is just. It's a blessing, you know what I'm saying? So if, like, y'all got somebody like that, man, y'all appreciate them, man. Make sure y'all let them know that, you know what I'm saying? I definitely tell him all the time that I appreciate him as he does me, you know what I'm saying?
That's so dope.
And it's just, even with the family aspects, like, you know, we get, you know, have family issues at home, you know, we call each other, you know, might go out, just kick it, just vent, just to vent to each other.
That's so good,
and
bro.
Just, you know, so we go back home and, you know, all right, we good. You know what I'm saying? Just having that other person who really genuinely is looking out for your best interest and not just, you know, just gonna tell you anything or be a yes man. Because one thing I'm not gonna be, he not gonna be a yes man. You know what I'm saying? If I'm looking out for him, he looking out for me. When I can't see things clearly, he gonna, all right, man, I don't know about that, man. You need to do this, or vice versa. It's just like that, you know.
And talk about how you know, partnering up with him to be a part of 1K Famo, and like when you already kind of had your own situation, and you know, Phew's career obviously started to ascend in a certain way, and you like was, you know, definitely there to compliment him, and you also took a certain position as to support him, like whether that's going on tour or letting him lead that group and like the energy that y'all had as a group. Talk about what kind of humility it took, and how did you feel when you had to kind of like feel like, man, I feel like God's calling his vision to take the lead out, and I'm gonna support him. Like, talk about the humility in you to do that, man. Especially when you already had like your own traction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like that it's for me. It's always been for the culture, like. You know what I'm saying? Even today, like now, it's like we trying to get somewhere. So somebody got to be a leader. Everybody can't lead. You know what I'm saying? Everybody not called to lead. Everybody not, you know, just because you think you the hottest, or, you know what I'm saying, if God opened the doors and put you in a place, you just got to walk in there until he release you from that place.
That's
or he, you know, open up another door. And with that situation, it has its challenges, but it's just like, I know at the end of the day, you know, God has me on assignment to support, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I've had people, oh man, you harder than, you know, you this, you that, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, you got to step back and be like, is this the enemy trying to bring division? You know what I'm saying? And so most of the 9 times out of 10, it be that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I haven't missed nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't missed nothing being able to push my brother. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I love
God
that.
still opened up doors. I still, you know.
Yeah.
And I looked up and I'm like, dang, I haven't missed nothing. Like, people told me, oh yeah, you gonna be in his shadow, man. You gonna this, that. And I haven't missed nothing. If anything, I've stayed relevant when I haven't did like work for a year. Like, you know what I'm saying? If anything, you know, God has, you know, used that to catapult me, you know what I'm saying, on another level. So it's like, you gotta just follow God. You can't follow man because they don't understand. And sometimes, you know, you don't know, just because you think this is the position you playing, God using you for a whole nother, you know,
so good, dog.
Whole nother situation. And, you know, you never know who watching, who that inspires. So it's like, when people see me, they get like, I guess like, it's like a double dose, because it's like, they see me with him, then they get to know me, and then they get to know my music. It's kind of like on a total different vibe, kind of like. So it's like, it's just
I love that.
It, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like so many ways in how we have read the scriptures or done church or presented the stories in the Bible. Sometimes it's good, but sometimes we end up propping ourselves to be the main character.
Yeah.
We read about David. Oh yeah, I'm David. We read about Moses. I'm Moses. Yeah. When God always talks about those main characters and the people that complimented them. And I think, everybody not gonna be David.
Right.
Everybody not gonna be Moses. Yeah. Some of y'all gonna be Aaron.
Or Jonathan.
Right.
Jonathan.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because God used those people to support the main person that he had placed on assignment for the bigger mission.
Right.
And I think that's so admirable of you. And I think it also gives an inspiration to other artists to know how to play your role that God gave you.
For sure.
And by doing that, you said, quote, I ain't missed nothing.
Right, I ain't missed nothing.
That's so powerful, Pson. I just want to stay right there on that. Speaking of On You though, when you have done records with you, boy, you've held your own, or you stepped out and crushed that. I gotta this one. I mean, you always do your thing.
Yeah.
Even your solo records, you gotta your melodies, your wordplay, the Atlanta, the way you deliver in that Atlanta style, which is so authentic. Yeah. You ain't. Some people sometimes try to do it, and it's like, bro, it's cool, but it's like, man, you got to be born here to do it well. It ain't.
It's some hidden sauce.
Facts.
It's not on you. It's in you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So, and I think there's one song that stands out to me that made me smile from ear to ear. I seen him perform live, and this is after. First of all, Pson construction business. Me and my wife, for our real estate business, have used him and his company to renovate some of our homes. And so, outside of him being a rapper, the boy got a whole business. You know what I'm saying? Renovations, rehabbing houses, amazing. Yeah. And so, I got to know you up close in a lot of different ways. Yeah. And I also got to root for you in a way that was really special. This is at the Pray for Atlanta tour stop in Atlanta. So there's a song, Favorite Trapper, that's featuring, you and Young Dro. And when I tell you, that's my favorite 1K Pson verse.
Bro, yes. Bro. I get so excited.
Yo. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Phew set it up. Dro did his, Dro kept it going. But Pson landed the plane.
Yeah, man. God. Yes.
Talk about how that verse came together and the energy that went into that verse, man. That was an all-star moment, bro.
Man, it's crazy. That verse was even when bro dropped it, he told me I think I was sick, and I was when he told me, I was I ain't gonna be cause Dro is a Atlanta legend. So I'm like, why you want me on this song? You know what I'm saying? I'm thankful, but I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm so. And then I think I was sick, and I was like, God, I you know what I'm saying? I know you called me to do this, so I know you gonna, cause I pray, before I, lay any verses down, and I just tell God to speak and tell me what to say. And so I just went in that, that's almost, I can say, was the fastest I wrote a verse, that song. And then, I just say this God, cause I think I was I was sick and I wrote that. And then I sent it back to Phew. He was like, fire. So I was like, okay.
You need to get sick more often then, brother. Counting them boys started went low, you done. I'm counting up the blessings and the money. The fact that you say money in a Christian in a gospel rap record.
I love that.
Y'all understand how powerful that is. That's we seeing you perform that. First of all, the performance at Vinyl in Atlanta for the Pray for Atlanta tour stop. It was Young Dro came out.
Yeah, that was special, right?
Played a few of his records, and then we had the DJ had the skirt on some of the language. Yeah. But he was having a good time. I think he's on a whole faith journey, which is a testament to seeing examples in the faith that I think he probably didn't see. These boys out here really rapping for God, rapping for the kingdom.
For sure.
I could probably, so I think that's planted a seed in him.
Yeah,
that I'm excited to see what God does. But on stage, I mean, bro, when your verse came on, but if anybody had a camera on Ace, your boy Ace was jumping 10 feet. I could have dunked the basketball. But the whole place was shaking.
Bro, we were at Phew Day Bash this year, and I got the chance to host. And of course, Phew, he's gonna do his mix of songs, and he did Favorite Trapper. And then so I'm standing next to P. And then so I'm holding the mic and I give P the mic because you don't think you're not about to do this verse. And at first he was like, no. And then shout out to my brother-in-law, Kimo. He was next to me. He said, boy, you don't take this mic, go up there and do that verse. I'm gonna have you sit next to me and I go up there and do your verse, man.
Yeah. That's so how that
legendary. Well, shoot, man, we don't have a lot of time. I wanted to, we could talk about, man, we could talk with you for hours, honestly. Yeah. I wanted to, a good thing that Meah was talking about in your story and thought it would just be a good question to ask, for the people that felt like they were outs, right, and gone away from God, and you had that moment where you realized you were the prodigal. What can you say to them to encourage them, man, to know that there's always a way, there's always a home to come back to? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, He always gonna be with you, man. Like when it really hit me, like I share at some of my shows. When it really hit me, I was in the middle of a club, you know what I'm saying? And I just started saying, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus. And that's when I knew, like, this is me, this is who I am. You know, I gotta go back to the Father, and I gotta do what He called me to do. And I just want everybody to know, like, man, you ain't never messed up too much, you know what I'm saying? You still have grace, you still have mercy, you know what I'm saying? He's still with you, you know what I'm saying? Though it may look like, you know, everything is falling apart and things ain't going your way, it's all gonna work it's all gonna work out for your good, you know what I'm saying? And I just encourage everybody just to call on Him and develop a relationship, a real relationship. Like, talk to God, just like we sitting here talking right now. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes He's gonna talk back. Sometimes He's just gonna listen. Sometimes you gotta just be quiet and just God, whatever you have for me, speak to me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's very important. Because I feel like a lot of people, you know, starting to get lost, you know, and just get lost into the things we do for Him. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a lot of high moments, but it's like, okay, yeah, the high moments, but like, where's your heart? Like, is your heart still in it, or you just figured out how to make it look good, sound good, and you know, stamp God on it and just run with it? You know what I'm saying? We got to make sure we just not doing that, because, like, you know, the enemy, if he ain't messing with you, you ain't no threat. You know what I'm saying? And you got to remember that. Like, if he messing with you, even though it may be hard, you just got to say, thank you, Jesus, because I know I'm still representing for you. But if you feeling like, hey, you know, you ain't no threat. He already got you. You know what I'm saying? Got your mind. But if he does, you know what I'm saying, it's time to come back. It's time to, you know, come back, be a real soldier. And, you know, just stand up for him.
I love it. Well, shoot, for the people that's obviously want to stay in touch with all the things you got going on and you know, new music, new plans, new projects, drop your socials and where they can find you so they can kind of stay tapped in, man.
Everything at 1K Pson, 1K Pson.
Hey.
Pson, short for Prodigal Son.
I'm sure you got some new music coming and all, and new stuff coming.
I got a lot.
Okay.
I got a lot locked up in the vault. It's time to just, you know, like I said, God done opened some doors so where I could just kind of release this music, and, you know what I'm saying? And just to be honest, man, like, God opened the doors, but because the devil tried to muffle me, you know what I'm saying? He tried to make me feel like I can't, you know, I shouldn't be talking to people, or just what I got to tell people, like who want to hear my story. And so, like, this is the first time, you know, I'm really popping out just on some, like, I'm about to start, you know, sharing my testimony, sharing who I am and what I got going on. So I appreciate y'all for
appreciate you.
Let me on y'all platform.
Y'all heard it here, man. 1K Pson, the Prodigal Son, ATL's finest. This is the 116 Life Holy Culture Radio, Sirius Channel 140. Thank you, Meah, for co-hosting, as always, killing it. And thank y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all, producer Matt, and the whole Reach Records and Holy Culture family. See y'all next week.